Natalie left Mike on 90 Day Fiance. Guys, after weeks and weeks and weeks of all these rumors circulating on why Mike and Natalie ended up, ending their relationship, we can finally confirm exactly what is going on, and that is that Natalie actually was the one that was leaving Mike. So here's the deal, y'all. We got to see 90 Day Fiance not so long ago. Bunch of stuff went down that I'm going to get into in a couple minutes. I want to first talk about Mike and Natalie because we have heard rumors about why their relationship was kind of going south, but now we can confirm this. Natalie has been leaving and leaving and leaving and leaving, and she never, ever will stay with Mike, to the point where she literally got her own bedroom at her friend Juliana's house in Seattle. And Mike just said, "You never come around. I go to work like really early, like 3 in the morning, real early, and I come home at 5:30 in the afternoon, and you're gone." And he even said, even a couple nights ago, we were, having some time together, and then after we had that time together, you ended up packing up and going to Juliana's. And Mike was like, "What is it? Why do you keep leaving?" And Natalie, she had no response. There was nothing she could say. There was nothing she could do. That's just the truth, Mike. That's the thing. She leaves and leaves and leaves, and Mike is just at his wit's end and at his breaking point. And at one point, too, he ended up pulling out his phone because Natalie was still talking about the word that she claims that Mike's mom called her. You know what I mean? Okay, so she was still bringing that up, and finally Mike pulled his phone out and said, "Here, call her." And so Natalie called her, and guess what? She didn't even bring it up. And finally Mike just said, "Listen, tell her, tell her what's going on. Tell her about the word that you think that she said." And Mike's mom heard Mike say that, and Mike's mom just said, "Listen, I didn't call you that. You need to stop saying that. I never said that to you. I never said that word. That never, ever happened." And that is just that. And it's like, what is the deal? So I don't know whose side to pick. Mike's mom did obviously admit, "I can't stand you." Like she told Natalie, "I cannot stand you because you make my son not, sad, I guess, and you don't love my son," and all this kind of stuff. The way Mike's mom worded it sounded a little bit kind of baby, like it almost kind of sounded like, she was kind of babying him, kind of. But the thing I will say is I don't think Natalie loves Mike. I do not think that. I don't even know if she ever loved him. Like, I really think she just wanted to come to America. That's what I'm starting to believe, because she's constantly complaining. She's not fighting, she is not fighting whatsoever for this marriage. And maybe there's more going on behind the scenes. Maybe Mike really does suck in real life. I don't know, but it's like on the show, on the surface, she is not fighting for this marriage. She's not really giving a crap. She's just going to her friend Juliana's house every day to hang out. And the weird thing I will say is because she's constantly going to his house, on Christmas Eve, December 24th, she ended up going over to Juliana's house and lied where she was going, and she took the Christmas presents that Mike got her and gave them to Juliana and her family. Now, I don't know if they don't have any money. I don't know why she would ever do that, but if she just did that just to kind of spike Mike or whatever, that's really rude. Now, if she was just doing that because they didn't have any presents, then I'd say, hey, that's nice of her. That's actually really sweet. But if she's doing that just to kind of spite Mike and kind of try to show him off, that's just ridiculous and weird and strange. So yes, y'all, we didn't know who it was. We did not know which way this whole, fighting was going on, but it was Natalie, you guys. And maybe, like I said, maybe Mike is doing stuff behind the scenes, but on the show, it is Natalie who's the one. She leaves every night, every single day. She's leaving to drive 2 hours to go to her friend Juliana's house, and she will never stay around to be with Mike. And so to my eyes, she's the one leaving him. That's that. Comment below what you guys think of that whole situation, but very bizarre. We did get to see Natalie talk to her friend Juliana, and if you guys are wondering what's their deal, they're just friends as far as I can see. The thing I will say is they definitely seem to be very close. I don't think they're dating or anything. I do not think that's going on. I just honestly think that Natalie wants to get away from Mike, and she wants to just get away from this whole situation. However, she wants to stay in America, and also she doesn't really have any money. So it's kind of like that's her only choice, this Juliana person, and she has no one to talk to and that kind of thing. So I think it's more so just that. I don't think anything's going on. No cheating or anything going on. I just honestly think that Natalie wants to, get away from Mike, and I don't think she ever loved him, but I am so curious what you guys think, so make sure to comment below. But it's like, Mike can be annoying, and he definitely can be loud, and he can be kind of stubborn and whatnot, and he's strange too. Very strange guy too. But the thing I want to say is he does seem kind of, somewhat, sort of willing, maybe willing to give this marriage a shot and try to kind of work out their differences and try to spend time together and whatnot. But it's like Natalie, as far as we can see, does not seem to be wanting to give this a shot whatsoever. So more on them later. Then we got to see Michael and Angela, and oh my God, why? are these people still on this show? I hope to God we will live in a day where we can watch 90 Day Fiance with Michael and Angela not on it. I don't even have an issue with Michael. Michael is just there. I feel bad for the guy at this point. But yes, Michael and Angela, they're back together. Their marriage is back on. They're happy again. And now Michael got some crazy delusional idea that he now needs to freeze some things. If you know, I'm not even going to get into details. I just don't even care. And this is probably fake, not with 90 Day Fiance. If I had to guess, I'd probably say Michael and Angela are like, wow, we're making a lot of money from being on the show. We might as well keep some drama going to stay on the show. So they made up this whole storyline because there's just no way they would ever do this. So what they're trying to do is they're going to freeze, you know, some things of his and I guess ship them to America. But to, you know, have all this stuff, to have the stuff he needs to freeze, he needs to do a couple things. And so he's going to do that thing with Angela on the phone. And it's just like really, 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 really. I don't know why on earth. It's like, at what point does this just get too weird? Like, you know, can't they just, like, not do this stuff on TV? I get it, it's kind of entertaining, and you guys are probably going to say I'm, you know, be acting all immature and whatnot. I'm really not. I just have no interest. This seems so fake and so stupid. Maybe it's real, but it's like, it doesn't even logistically make sense. Like, what they are trying to do, it literally makes almost no sense how they're trying to kind of time it and all this stuff. So Michael wants to ship, you know, his stuff, and then by the time he could come to America, they'd have a baby at that point. It really just makes no sense. So that was basically the whole storyline with that. Michael admitted that he's kind of hanging out with his buddies again that Angela doesn't like. Angela kind of got mad, but then she wasn't that mad. They kind of worked it out. That was basically it. Really boring episode with those two. I just don't know why on earth. Maybe it's real, but to me, it just seems super fake. And then there was Brandon and Julia, and they moved. They finally moved. Finally. They packed up their bags. They moved. Ron and Betty helped them move. And I don't know, I felt weird. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I felt very weird. Watching Betty, she got teary-eyed. Let me say this too, Betty does appear to be on social media. A lot of the cast, well not a lot, but some of the cast have reached out to me that I made videos on, and they're usually so mean, and they can't stand me, and they hate me. Betty, I'm not gonna say what actually was said, but she was fine, nice, fine, you know, perfectly normal, just normal. And so I don't want to bash too much because it seems like in real life she's a lot more normal than it's appeared to be on the show. But on this last episode, she was just like really emotional. They're only moving 35 minutes away. Okay, 30-some minutes away. If they want, once a week they go over, drive over and have dinner. They're not moving far by any means. And if they want, they can still keep in touch. They're a phone call away. She can go visit them. They can go visit her for dinner and all this kind of crap. And they'll be in perfectly good touch. In fact, they might even be in better touch because then they won't be, you know, so close to each other, but they can still keep in touch. And their relationship might even be even better. But Betty was crying, and then she was sad, and then she was kind of, she does this weird thing where like when she's like mad about something, she'll kind of pick and poke. And so she was kind of, you know, mad about this. Now they aren't ready. And she's like, you know what, Betty, if this is real, you need to let your kids go. They need to live their own life and just, they need to do their own thing. And to me, it was really annoying. So they moved. Julia's happier than ever. Brandon, he seems kind of emotionless. Like, he doesn't seem like he's real happy, sad. He's just kind of like there. He doesn't seem very happy. I think he's honestly kind of just over his head. Even though he's like 28, 29 years old, I think he is over his head and nervous that the bills are going to add up. They don't have a lot of money. Julia appears to have literally no sense of, and I don't want to say it like that, but she doesn't seem to really have a sense of budgeting and whatnot. Brandon's parents are kind of sad. Brandon's kind of in the middle. I think he seems kind of sad. But, you know, Ron and Betty, they're just like, you know what, this is your deal now. Betty seemed really sad. Ron didn't really seem to care. He was just more so like, let's get them moved and then move on with our lives kind of a thing. So yes, Brandon and Julia, more on them in a minute, but they're, you know what, they seem to be doing pretty well, and we will see how the rest of that goes for them. And then we also got to see Jovi and Yara. They went to Miami with their daughter. Jovi's mom, Gwen, who I love so dearly, also came to kind of watch the baby, and they're just trying to get some alone time. And I can't comment. I don't even know what this would be like, you know. It seems like Jovi really wants to just go boom back to where they were before they had a kid, and he's kind of crying. He loves this kid. Keep in mind, he has said multiple times, He loves the kid. He loves the kid being around, but he also doesn't want to lose this spark and fire that they kind of had, him and Yara. So it's a balancing act. That's why they basically came to Miami, was just to keep the spark going and kind of get the date night kind of thing going. And it was going. It was going relatively well. Then it's like she kind of wanted to see the baby and Jovi wanted to stay out, and they started kind of butting heads. One thing led to another, and yeah, they started to kind of fight, and then she ran off. And so I don't know. She's pretty stubborn. She wants to take care of this baby, which that's a great thing. You got to give her credit. She's not wanting to run off and party. She wants to take care of the baby. He kind of wants to have more alone time. They got to meet in the middle. I don't think the relationship is that bad by any means, and I think in real life, Jovi and Yara are happy as can be as a couple. So I don't really know how true. I don't know. Maybe it could be true. I do think if it is true, Jovi needs to kind of take a step back. You just had the baby. You definitely should have your date nights and whatnot, but I think they could, I don't think they're going at a bad pace. Like, they're still happy. They're still having a good time. Take it slow. She just had a baby, and kind of give her time, and then you can kind of get back. And that's what I would do. But Lord only knows, I don't know nothing about dating, or marriage or anything, so I can't really comment. But yes, we gotta see that. And then I think last, but actually no, not last, but because we gotta see Kalani and Asuelu real quick. Asuelu went and seen his mother and his sister. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. I don't know who to believe. I don't know what to believe. All I know is this: if this is actually real, keyword if it is real, his mother and his sister are literally, categorically, 100% out of their minds. That's all I'm going to say. They are out of their minds because the mom was kind of like trying to push the blame onto like Kalani, and she was just like, you and Kalani need to be nice. And it's like, how are they not being nice? And the sister said the exact same thing. And the sister was like basically saying if they're not nice, she's going to try to get, physical and all. It's like, really? You're going into their home, sit there, eat their food, and shut up and say thank you and go home. That's my advice to his mother and his sister. But they're going in all defensive and mean, and it's an awful idea to try to, bring this stuff up again. They're not going to be friends. They're never going to be happy. And when I say they, I mean his mother and his sister and, Kalani and Asuelu. It's not going to work. Asuelu's friendly with them, but Kalani and her family and, everyone else, no, not going to work. No way. It's awkward. It's tense. It's weird. But like I said, the mother and the sister, I don't know what's going on in their head. They're saying this crazy crap. It makes literally no logical sense. Like, whatsoever what they're trying to say, it makes no sense. And I'm kind of just like, yeah, I don't know. And we do get to see in the preview that when the sister and, Asuelu's mom do get to Kalani's house, they get into a huge fight with Kalani. So it's like, that's exactly what I knew was going to happen. That's exactly what happened. And last but not least, we got to see Elizabeth and Andrei. The gist with them is this. Finally, Andrei and Elizabeth, they're not going to be working with Charlie or any of them. What they decided to do is this. The dad, Chuck, he bought a house. He's paying for this house, and Andrei is going to basically help fix it. Elizabeth might kind of be involved somewhat sort of too, but basically they're going to work with just him on this one house. That is that. And then Becky and Jen and everyone was kind of just emotional and mad because they wanted to get part of the deal. To me, I am an independent person, maybe you are too, and it's like, to me, if I was Jen or Becky, I would just sit there and go, wow, I feel like a complete schmuck, because they are literally crying that they have to basically just make all their money from their dad. So that, because here, no, it makes no sense to even try to explain this, but basically, Andrei is going to be fixing this house and also being the realtor to sell. Well, that is Becky's job. Becky is the realtor. But it's like, not the realtor for all of his properties. Like Chuck, it's a capitalist market. He can hire any realtor who he wants. He doesn't have to hire his daughter. He doesn't have to hire Andrei. He can hire anyone. He can hire a random realtor on a street corner. So it's like, for Becky to get mad that Andrei is going to be listing this house without her, and so she can't get the commission, that's crap. It's stupid. Dude, Becky, go hustle. Go make things happen without having trying to leech onto your dad. Like, to me, that was like, at first I kind of understood why they could see why, it's like if Andrei goes to the dad and say, I want this money, to me, that makes Andrei look bad. But for Becky and Jen to come up and say, because my dad is doing a deal with you, I need to be the realtor, that's stupid, that's crap. Go make your own thing. Go make things happen on your own, Becky. And Jen was just as mad. And she was, I don't even know what her role in this company even is, something with the real estate. But for whatever reason, she believes she's getting pinched out of this deal too. But it's like, Jen, it's not your deal. If this is for Andrei, this is for Elizabeth, this is just for them two with the dad. That is it. if they want to bring you in, they can bring you in. If they don't, then they don't. That is just that. That's how I see it. That's how I believe it. And I think if they want to make more money and they want to take care of their family, it's like go out and do your own thing. And I think Andrei should do the same thing. Andrei should go sell houses. Go be a realtor. You got your license. Go try to make something happen like that. Make some money on your own. Don't leech on to your, father-in-law. I think the same thing with Becky and Jen and Charlie. So I don't like any of these people. I think all of these people are just like leeches. That's the only word to describe them. They're just leeching onto anything that they can to get some money. And they're working on the house. Long story short, Andrei and Elizabeth have a birthday party for their daughter. Jen gets there, gets a piece of cake, and throws it in Andrei's face, and they all storm off and they leave, and it was a big drama. I don't know. Probably fake. If it was real, these people are just the most unbelievably annoying, crazy people I've ever seen on 90 Day Fiance. And for Tiffany and Ron, we did not get to see them, boo-hoo, so we're going to have to wait next week for that. But yeah, guys, I think we are finally getting to a close. I think with all this 90 Day Fiance happily ever after crap, I'm so sick of Angela and Michael. I'm sick of the whole podcast family, and I am ready to move on. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please tap that like button in the comments below, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.